Celebration time. Woo!
Woohoo!
Yay!
Hip hip, hooray!
Hip hooray! Yay!
Alright, so we've just popped a bottle here as a toast. What are we celebrating? I already know what we're celebrating, but you tell me, what are we celebrating?
We are celebrating me having one of my most biggest clients ever. I mean, all my clients are important, but like, it's not every day you get like a celebrity couple. Like, one step under Beyonce and Jay-Z, just like a mini step under Jay-Z.
Literally,
and Beyonce.
if we had to compare.
If we had to compare.
Tell me, who are these wonderful celebs that we had?
So we had Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle.
Wow.
And I've loved her ever since being Mary Jane. Like, I feel like she's just an inspiration to women. She's so real and so beautiful and so authentic. All of that all in one. So it was amazing to be able to host her for a wine tour.
100%.
Yes.
Is she like a fan of wine at all? How did it happen? How did you get to?
Okay, well, first of all, both she and Dwayne are definitely fans of wine. They definitely know their wines. They know what they're talking about. I actually had a blunder on the bus that I felt so bad about, but at first I was so nervous. I was just so nervous being around their space, but honestly, they were so cool that nervousness went away later in the day, because it was just like hanging out with old friends, actually. But how did it happen?
Yes, how did it happen? How did it come about?
So the power of Instagram, right? So that's why I need y'all to tag me, comment, like, repost, but like, their events person, Rhonda, who's amazing, so she manages their whole shebang, their travel, their estate. She follows me on Instagram because she does events. So she follows me on Instagram, and she had been following me for a couple years. And when she found out they were coming to Cape Town, she was like, oh, this is a perfect time for me to work with Tuanni. And then she did like a backdoor reference. She saw that we have a common friend, Akimi, and she saw that Akimi was here in July, and I had hosted a wine experience for the Roots Fund. So she called Akimi, and she was like, yo, Akimi, like, what's up with this Tuanni? What is it like? Is she good? And Akimi gave me a glowing reference. Thank you so
shout
much,
out, Kimmy.
Woo-hoo, shout out. And I mean, I think that just speaks to the power of people saying your name in a space where there's opportunity, you know what I mean? And I'm just glad that, my name is so worthy of saying, so.
In worthy spaces.
Yeah, in worthy spaces.
So you say like they're just really cool people. How was the energy? How was it like being with them?
Oh, their energy was fantastic.
Are they not divas?
No, not at all. They were not divas at all. As a matter of fact, they were like easy. Like, they were easy. They definitely have high standards, they're fancy as fuck, you know what I mean? So they have high standards, they have high expectations, but they're not like, okay, take out all the red M&Ms type people, you know what I mean? They're really just like, we want a really great, unique experience, and that's what their event planner knows, and that's why they contacted me. And so I contacted some of my favorites. I literally felt like Oprah that day. Like, I was showing them my favorite parts of Cape Town, of Stellenbosch, of wine countries. I'm sorry, we didn't even go to Stellenbosch. I'm at Franschhoek. So and it was hard for me because I have so many favorite things in South Africa. I had to first decide if I wanted to take them to Franschhoek, or if I wanted to take them to Stellenbosch, or if I wanted to take them to Pearl. So I basically gave them 3 itineraries, and their event manager was like, okay, what's your favorite? And I was like, my favorite right now is my Franschhoek tour. Right. So, yeah.
What's happening over at Franschhoek?
So Franschhoek has the first ever 100% black-owned wine farm, and that was on my list. And then we went to Reuben's, which is a black-owned restaurant, the only black-owned restaurant in Franschhoek, and Chef Reuben was there. I'm gonna mess his name up. He tried to tell me Raphael, but it's South Afrikaans, so I can't really say it the right way. And then we went over to Mullineux Tasting Room, their wine studio. It was perfect. We did this walk through the garden, and it was so amazing because when we did the walk through the garden, there was one point where me and Gab, I know
your girl Gabs,
my girl
your
Gab,
everyday girl Gabs.
Oh gosh, but we were like at the walking at the same time in the garden, and then we struck up a conversation. And so, you know, she was just asking me about my life in Cape Town. And it was so cool for her to even be like interested in like who I am and what I do. So she didn't treat me like I was just, you know, her vendor or her supplier for the day. She literally treated me really nicely, and I really appreciate that.
Right. I saw in some of the pictures, they were really kind of, like you said, they do know something about wine, they know their wine. I saw they were walking around planting some, you know, some vines, if you will. Yeah,
so actually they are forever, a piece of them or their work and dedication is planted in South Africa. So these vines will grow for hundreds of years, and they're vines that they actually planted themselves. Like, you should have seen it. Dwayne had the shovel. He was like putting some sweat into it. Somebody in his camp, because they had their friends and their family with them, was like, this is the first time we've seen him work this hard in a long time.
He's really into it, huh?
He was into it. Like, he literally dug the hole, and Gab, she put in like the plant to the vine, and so then they just planted the vine, and then that vine is going to grow for the next 100 years. They're actually going to bear fruit on that vine that they planted, and they were able to write their name on the post. It was a magical experience.
That sounds absolutely beautiful. So you spent some time, you know, with them. Do they say what their favorite wine is? Their favorite wine
gosh, you know what? Dang, they didn't say what their favorite wine is. They did say what they were not a fan of. And so then I showed them South Africa. So they said they were not necessarily a fan of Chardonnay, right? And I think that's because they're used to maybe overly oaky, woody Chardonnays, buttery Chardonnays, you know, California style. And so I was telling them how like South Africa has really great Chardonnays and different styles of Chardonnay. So I was able to show them some Chardonnays throughout the day, and they appreciated the Chardonnays.
Love it. So, wow, that is amazing, absolutely amazing. What's next?
You know
what are we doing next?
I'm manifesting it. You know what? I heard that Kevin Hart was in town, so I'm manifesting a wine tour with Kevin Hart, even though I feel like I might be cracking up that whole time. I hope he is as funny as he is on camera as he is in person. Or in person as he is on camera, however you say that. But yeah, so, I mean, I'm just manifesting more. I mean, I appreciate and I love all the clients who are not celebrities who use me now. People find me, they come to Cape Town and they want a really unique wine experience. They definitely want to experience diversity in the winelands, and they call me up and they literally say that's what they're looking for. And I'm glad that I'm able to provide that. And so I'm just looking forward to this summer season, because it's summer now coming up in Cape Town, showing more and more Americans my perspective of the winelands.
Lovely.